What's up, y'all? This is GNT. We have some really great stories this week. Pokemon Go. Nintendo's launching some new stuff. Rock with us.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Geek Nerd Tech.
Yeah. Welcome to Geek Nerd Tech, the show where we break down geek and nerd culture from a black and brown perspective. I'm Akili Shine, and today I have on the show Kiana Garner. What's good?
Hi, how
welcome,
are you?
Welcome. I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
Yes, indeed. So I'm happy you're here too to really get some good perspectives from you. I think you're super intelligent. I would define you as a geek. I don't know. Would you define yourself as a geek?
I mean, I guess you could say that. I was just saying I consider myself a pop culture connoisseur, which is a little.
Okay.
I don't know.
More sophisticated.
A little.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. So we came in with Chance the Rapper. Is that one of your favorite? I mean, I think it's one of the best albums of the year. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely gonna win all kinds of Grammys. Yeah, I like the whole album. I've just been playing on repeat. It's like a Negro spiritual.
Man,
so
it's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's
like
good.
a 2016 future Negro spiritual.
Basically,
and it's on point. It's so on point. If you haven't heard the album, definitely download it and get that. Chance the Rapper is the artist, and the album is on fire. We have a lot of great topics today. I just want to get into it. Pokemon Go. This thing is wild. This thing is out of control. It's a worldwide phenomenon. I'm sure you've heard of it, right?
I have heard of it. I actually saw it on Twitter for the first time, and then someone texted me about it, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to download this now because that's the way it goes. So I downloaded it and didn't really know how it worked, and I went up to my roof and was just by the pool, turned it on, and you see this little, well, it was one of the characters. I don't know the name. I want to call him like Charmander or something like that. Anyways, I caught it, and then I didn't see anymore because it's based on your location.
Right, like, GPS?
Yeah, GPS and stuff. So at work, we had something called a swarm, which is where there's a lot of Pokemon in one area.
Right.
And someone sent out like a blast email, and everyone just like ran outside.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it just catching Pokemon. It's insane.
Well, if you've been living under a rock, this app is like the #1 downloaded game in the history of games and apps. Like, it surpassed Candy Crush at 20 million. I think it's been downloaded 20 million times in less than 2 weeks.
Which is
like
crazy.
It's incredible. Like, and so for those of you who don't know what it is, it's augmented reality and GPS. Like Kiana was explaining. Pretty much it uses your phone, the GPS functionality of the phone, for you to find Pokemon in real world places. And so you find the Pokemon and you try to capture it, and by capturing it you get points, and that's how you get ahead in the game. And so it's crazy because people are going crazy trying to find Pokemon. People are driving off cliffs, people are getting hit by cars.
No deaths yet though.
No deaths yet, but almost like 2 dudes drove off a cliff looking for a Pokemon.
I'm waiting, it's sad, but I'm waiting for the first Pokemon Go death, and it's like it might be happening right now, which is really fucked up, but I mean.
So I want to ask you, like, why do you think, what makes this app, this game unique that so many people are gravitating to it, and like, why is it the hot thing?
I think it's just, one, it's a distraction from what's going on in the world, and it came at a perfect time when everyone was, the things going on in the country, so everyone needs something to be distracted by.
Right.
Also, I think it's the nostalgia part of it. Like, who didn't know
Were you a Pokemon fan?
I mean, I think I was too old for the Pokemon, but I remember it, so I think that's what it is too. They're capitalizing on all those millennials that played the Pokemon cards or whatever it was.
For sure. I mean, that's definitely a great point. I feel, there's been nothing like this, like, in our generation, where you have something that's so experiential, that's so uses the technology at this level, and that's bringing people together to like find something that is imaginary.
Right.
Like this augmented reality. This is the best usage of this technology that I know about in terms of any app that we have access to. So I think this is like super crazy, cool and fun and just different. Like,
yeah, totally. I think like it's just the beginning, and we're gonna see a
more
lot
and more.
more.
Right. So did you hear about the Central Park stampede?
I saw the video. But
that thing is ridiculous, dude. Like,
that's similar to what happened at my job.
Shut up.
They were like, okay, we have a soccer field by my job, and someone was like, there's a swarm or whatever. And
swarm, let's go.
And everyone just like ran outside. So that's how crazy it is that people are like being crazy about this app. But there's it's also a story in South Korea. There's like a glitch, and then in this one area there's just like a whole bunch of Pokemon, and people travel there because it's
just to
like
grab them.
It's like outlawed in other places, so
right.
everybody goes there and just to grab all of them, and it's just like there's always a bunch of Pokemon there, and it's like somewhere like seaside or whatever in Korea, South Korea. But yeah.
Well, in this video in Central Park, it was literally hundreds of people trying to find a Pokemon. Like they filled the streets. Like it was just like she said, a swarm of people trying to get the Pokemon. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. But I think what's really dope about this is that, and I want to ask you, what do you think this will do for like businesses, because it's placing these Pokemons at like centralized locations or like points of interest, and like that could help, you know, with foot traffic for businesses.
Totally, yeah. I'm already seeing it here in LA. There's like signs up like you can, you know, we welcome Pokemon Go players, or we have this or whatever. So it'll definitely like bring business in and help with that. But then there are a lot of businesses who don't want that attention because it's just people coming in looking for those things and getting out. They're not buying anything.
Exactly.
They're
it's a distraction.
Yeah, they're distracting other customers. So like, I mean, it goes both ways. So.
I see the point. So we were talking offline, and you said that you deleted it from your phone.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't have a need for that because also like people go hunting for this. Like I have a friend that told me he was up till like 2 a.m. He lives in Torrance and was just cruising the streets of Torrance.
It's like an addiction.
Yeah, it's like an addiction.
A Pokemon addiction.
And it's like, it's funny because they were doing it ironically at first, but now I think they're actually like Pokemon hunters.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't have time for that. And then also, like, I only go to work and home. I don't really go outside of those areas.
And you're not about to be chasing all over LA.
And once you get them, like, the people have them, like, they're gone. So between work and home, I don't see any more Pokemon because they're all captured.
Right.
So I want to know, how do they reset it? Like, how do we get more Pokemon?
Right.
Like, is that, I don't know. I need to ask the people who made it, like, what's next?
Well, a couple of quick facts. The average daily use of Pokemon Go exceeded Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. That is a crazy fact. Yeah. Another one, Nintendo owns 33% of Pokemon Go, of the franchise, as well, and its market value increased by $9 billion in the first week.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
And they're saying also that Pokemon Go is actually helping the police catch criminals because people are out more and are able to see crimes and report crimes. That is kind of some funky stuff too.
Yeah, it's just crazy, all the things. So you're just like catching like a Pikachu, and then you're like, oh wait,
somebody's
that
getting
guy's
robbed.
Yeah, like let's call the police, or the police are there already because they're playing Pokemon Go. Like, I don't know, it's crazy.
Wow. Well, yeah, let's get into some tech stuff.
Yes.
The Pentagon is developing cyber warfare tools to help fight ISIS. So, as we know, ISIS uses the internet and uses social media platforms to recruit people into their organization, the terrorist organization. And so the Pentagon is saying, well, instead of dropping bombs and destroying their communication system that way, we can come up with some malware software that will help disrupt their communication. And so I want to ask you, do you think that is something that is effective? Do you think that ISIS will figure out a workaround? Like, kind of give me your takes on that.
Well, I had a really terrible idea the other day because I thought about the fact that ISIS uses social media and technology to recruit people, and that's how they're big as they are and their reach is so far, that they have to have a social media strategist. There's somebody who is, and this is so terrible, I know, but I just thought about,
you're right.
Somebody went to school to be ISIS social media person.
Man.
And the fact that they haven't thought about this sooner kind of worries me, because I feel like if you just watch Mr. Robot, you could have had this idea that we could have just taken them down a la Independence Day and just given them a virus, and that's the end. So, I mean, I think it's a great idea. I don't understand why it wasn't implemented sooner.
Right.
But I still don't think that's going to stop them from doing things. I mean, obviously the organized stuff is going to be on hold for a little while, but if ISIS I mean, if they're that tech savvy, I'm sure they're going to be able to get back online.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's a good tactic for the short term. I don't know if it's great for the long term. I think ISIS will definitely figure out a way to circumvent whatever obstacle they have. I mean, but I think it is good instead of just pulling the trigger and pressing the button and dropping bombs and maybe destroying. Or having some collateral damage when those bombs drop and killing maybe innocent people. I think having this as a strategy is much better. Yeah. In conjunction with,
and taking out their social media strategists.
Exactly. Yeah, take out that guy.
So that way they can't tweet anymore. So.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
So I want to skip the White House story, but I want to get into the Touch ID and using that to get money out of ATMs. Are you Android or are you iPhone?
I'm iPhone, but I feel like I don't even have the time to do the Touch ID on my iPhone.
Okay, I was going to ask you, right.
How you secure your phone. Like, I don't want to do that because I feel like it's time consuming and I just want to get my phone started when you're setting it up.
Right.
And then two, I don't know how I feel about Apple having my fingerprint.
Man, I am so right with you on that. That's the main reason why I didn't do it. Yeah. I'm not trying to have them have my fingerprint. Who knows what they're doing with that?
It's just one step away from us doing retina scans and becoming cyborgs and I mean, which would be kind of cool. But no, it's it's just too much. I don't think we need that level of quote unquote security.
Right. What do you think about us moving towards this society where we don't have to necessarily break out our wallet or break out an ATM card? We could just use our phone and have the authentication process go through and get our money from an ATM. I think that's kind of cool, though.
I think it's cool. I mean, it's a time saver. Nobody uses cash anyway.
Exactly.
But I mean, if shit goes down and ISIS social media strategist or whoever it is, I mean, if they got hackers, it's still, I don't feel entirely secure with it. Not saying that an ATM card is any more secure. I just feel like I don't want to put everything into technology, all of my faith, all of my assets in it. I don't know, maybe I need to start putting my money in a mattress or something. I don't know. I feel it's too much.
So what they're trying to do, and all the major banks have signed up for this, and they're going to be rolling this out in the next few years. But right now, there's 70,000 ATMs that they're going to roll this out with. And essentially, you use your phone, your Touch ID to, obviously, like we were talking about, putting your fingerprint in, and you're able to withdraw money within the app on the phone. What happens is it goes through a process of why am I messing up that word? It goes through a process where it essentially makes sure it's you, and then it sends a QR code. And so when you go up to the ATM, you flash the QR code and you get the money. And so it's super, super quick. And I think this is going to be ubiquitous. I think we're going to see this all over the world in the next few years, where you don't have to use an ATM card, you just use your phone. Because everyone has a smartphone.
Yeah, we're essentially barcodes now.
Exactly.
That's what we are. They're just scanning us. Okay, Kiana scanned whatever number comes up, maybe my social security number. I don't know. It's cool. It makes things easier, and that's what technology is supposed to do. So
make it more efficient and all that good stuff. So, are you a heavy Netflix girl?
I do have Netflix, but I feel like in order to get everything I need, I also have to have my HBO Go. I also have to have Hulu.
So you got the whole shebang.
Yeah, gotta have all of it.
Got you. Well, I think this is a super cool story. Netflix is coming out with a thing called Flix Tape, and it's almost like a throwback to the mixtape idea of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even the 2000s, where you would personally curate different songs and put them on a tape. But now you're able to do that with Netflix and streaming video. So you can essentially you can sign up and go to the website flixtape.com, I believe, and you can make your own mixtape of your favorite movies and television shows, and you can do it by category, by genre. You can make up your own categories. Do you think this is a cool idea?
I think it's cool, but isn't that the queue? When I'm putting shows and stuff in the queue, isn't that the same thing?
It's different because you can share this. You can share this. You be like, hey, Akili, check out my new Flix tape for comedy. It has all your faves. And I'm able to check out kind of your curation in the order or whatever. And I think that part is pretty fresh. That has a social element to it as well.
I think this is probably what we're paying for with the $9.99 now. Is this the
Right, the hike, the price hike?
The Flix tape is what we get. This is the incentive.
You don't seem too happy about this.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's cool. I feel like it's just because Netflix knows that it takes so long for people to decide on something. They're just like, okay, what if they just make something and then they're able to access it easier.
Right.
I think they're trying to like circumvent that with, the fact that people are just like, I know when I'm looking for something, I'm just like, no, seen it.
Right,
it takes forever for me to decide on something on Netflix
There's
unless
so many,
I'm watching something.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
We'll hop on Netflix and spend at least 10 minutes trying to find something, get so frustrated we watch nothing.
Exactly.
It's like, so I mean, I think this definitely, like if you sent me something, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see like why you put this in a bundle,
right?
And watch it. I think
essentially, it's like the word of mouth because someone always tells you what to watch on Netflix, but you never get around to it because you're like, what did that person tell me to watch?
Right.
And then you have the Flix tape now, so that's cool.
Flix tape. Do you like that word?
I mean,
is that a cool lingo for it?
I don't know about Flix tape, but I mean, it works. It just reminded me of this thing that I like stumbled upon called Trap Flix. And
oh my gosh!
Have you heard of Trap Flix? Trap Flix is trap movies,
right?
But in the Netflix format, so you can just stream.
Don't tell me you're subscribing to that.
I just found
$15.99.
I don't know how I found it, but I was like, wait, this is a real thing. And I think like Snoop came up with the idea or something like that.
Snoop is developing a streaming service now, a streaming platform.
For trap movies, though.
That is out of control.
Yeah.
All right, well, more power to Snoop. I will not be subscribing to that, but anywho, Lucasfilm is making a VR movie about Darth Vader. I think this is super duper fresh. Are you into the whole virtual reality thing? Like, have you tried any of the like the Oculus or the HTC or the Google Cardboard?
I did try the Google Cardboard, and I had to download. It was when the last Star Wars movie came out, so I had to download the app to go with it. And it's like you're in the world, you're on whatever that planet is. I probably can't pronounce it. And you're just like going through you're one of the resistance people or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, it's really cool. I would be down to see. So is it a feature-length film? Like how is it?
I don't know if it's a feature. I think it's short. I think it's actually a short. And so ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, the branch of Lucasfilm that creates all the special effects for all of the movies, really in Hollywood, is developing this. And I think it's super cool that they're actually trying to create a new form of narrative storytelling where it brings the audience member and makes them a participant. And so you're able to not only watch what's going on, but actually grab things in the movie. And so it's from the perspective of Darth Vader. And so I don't know if it's the feature, but I think it's more like just auxiliary content that's going to go along with maybe a new movie release. Definitely. But I think this is the future. This is the new wave of storytelling where you actually, it's a complete change up from you going to the movies and sitting in a seat and just watching the movie. Like you're able to actually participate and explore the world. Yeah. And I think that's super fresh with a franchise like this.
So like, do I get to like hold a lightsaber and kill
you
people?
You might.
If I can do that, I'm
then you signing up.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, this is fresh to me. Like, I can't wait for this to come out, and I'll definitely be buying the ticket for it.
Who's going to play the Darth Vader? Do you know that yet?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know if they're that far along with it, but
yeah,
I think it's super, super duper dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into some geek pop culture stuff. Nintendo is relaunching the original NES.
That is so exciting. I actually saw one today.
You did?
I went to my job like on this Sunday. I know. I just went in to like print something, and I realized that we have a gaming area at work, and I just thought it was like the new stuff like PlayStation or Xbox. We have every single gaming station. We have a Super Nintendo. We have a regular Nintendo. We have PlayStation 1. Like, I don't understand why we have all of that, but I looked over there. I was like, yo, this is like a old school Nintendo, which was the first Nintendo that I had growing up. The first gaming system that I had.
So you play video games coming up?
I did. I mean, I played whatever was in that little cartridge when you first got it. I didn't buy too many other games outside of what came with the system, but like I remember Duck Hunt. I remember Mario Brothers.
Of course.
There was like race car games, like Grand Prix or something like that. But
this joint is relaunching in November. It's going to be price point is $60. It has 2 HDMI inputs, and it's already 30 games built into it, like The Legend of Zelda.
That's amazing.
Like Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, and 26 more awesome games, throwback games that remind us of our childhood, and I can't wait to have this. Is this a must-buy?
This is a must-buy.
Okay.
When is it? You said
November 11th.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be in line or pre-ordering mine. Which is good that we don't have the little cartridges anymore.
Exactly.
You gotta blow it.
Joint.
We had to, that looks weird, but we had to like shake it around a little bit to like get it to work. It was like, I don't know.
Those days are over.
Yeah.
Just plug in the HDMI and get to rocking.
Man, technology. We would have never thought of this when we were little. Like, what?
Man.
No cartridges?
I think this is a good move for Nintendo because Nintendo's actually, I mean, we already talked about them earlier with the Pokemon Go, but Nintendo's been on a decline in terms of, you know, what they're offering and just their penetration in the marketplace. Like, obviously, PS4 and Xbox is killing.
Yeah.
But I think this is a great move. Like,
what about like Wii's? Did those just do bad?
I mean, it's on the decline. All the products are on the decline.
I feel like because Wii was the first to do all of that, and then everybody else came out with their own version of it and just like killed it.
Advanced it.
Yeah.
But I think this is a great strategy for them. It gets people talking. Like, those games are classic games. Like, it's just fun. I could just see that at a party, you know what I'm saying? Just people having fun
Totally,
with those games,
millennials are going to be all over this. Yeah.
All right, let me do a quick rundown. Thumbs up, thumbs down, or must go, or nah, I ain't going. Okay. Finding Dory.
Thumbs all the way up.
Were you a Finding Nemo fan?
I was. Actually, I take that back.
Wait a minute.
Because I know how sequels are, and the reason why everyone's like so hype about it is because Finding Nemo was so great.
Classic.
Yeah, but sequels are never as good as the first one. So I'm going to say thumb sideways.
Holy smoke. I'm surprised by that answer. I can't wait for this movie.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Legend of Tarzan.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
No.
I'm sign me down.
Okay.
Jason Bourne.
Sounds terrible. I haven't seen any of those movies. I've probably seen like bits and pieces.
You gotta be kidding
me. You know, I saw the billboard the other day, and I was like, I don't know the premise too much about Jason Bourne, but I know he's like a military person, and he's like, is he a robot or something?
No, he is a stone cold killer assassin.
Okay, but
he's been programmed though.
He's been programmed. Yeah. Okay, because in my mind I thought he was like somewhat of an android. Because I was like,
he's human.
Okay, so he's human. Because I was looking at the billboard and I was like, oh, Jason Bourne has aged. I don't think that makes sense for the story. But
listen,
I don't know.
Kiana,
I didn't know that he was.
You gotta go home and watch Jason Bourne. I can't believe you haven't seen that. It is awesome.
I don't like gratuitous violence, but I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'll see it. All 8 of them or however many there are.
You got to do that for your homework. Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek. I should have saw the other ones. Maybe I'd be more hype about it.
Okay.
I'm tired of reboots. Like
It's all right. Yeah. So speaking of a reboot, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. At first, I was not excited about it because this is one of my all-time favorite movies, and for them to reboot this, I was just like, no, I'm over it. I don't care if they are doing an all-female cast, like whatever. But I've been hearing that the reviews are really good, and I think the reason why it was getting a bad rep was because it was a female cast. But they kind of did the same thing. They got all SNL stars in it, and I mean, it's a super original idea, so I think I'm going to go see it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I mean, it's gotten 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. The reviews are definitely mixed. A lot of people are saying it's too similar to the original canon. It's not very different other than it's, female protagonist. But I mean, I think this is one of my favorite franchises watching as a kid, and just to have this, rebooted, I think is dope with the female cast. And I think it'll be, I haven't seen it yet, but I think it'll be an amazing film. I can't wait to see the new technology in the movie, to see how they're kind of creating the ghosts and the different characters. Right. But yeah, last one, Suicide Squad.
I'm definitely going to go see that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not big on like, that's not Marvel, is it? Is it Marvel?
No, that's DC.
DC. Oh my God. I know that's like a big no. Like you should never mix those up.
Right.
I like worked at a comic book convention one time, and it was just like, if you mix that up, they will like, they'll stone you
It's just like
to
your
death.
tribe. They're very tribal. You gotta get that right.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I want to go see that. Not so much for the cast, but like the story. It looks like it's pretty cool. I mean, it looks like it was casted well.
Right.
But yeah, I'll go see that.
Okay. Well, I want to get into you for a bit. I want to introduce you to the audience and kind of like what you're enterprising and what you're doing. Like I think you got some great things that you've been working on and just developing. I kind of want to just explore that. So you are an amazing creative and writer. So kind of like,
Wow, am I?
I think so. Kind of give me like an intro into your world, like what you're doing, what your interests are, what you're working on, all that good stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's such a broad question. Well, not really. So I am pursuing a career in TV writing. So I basically write a blog, and that kind of what is the word that I'm looking for? It captures my journey in a sense.
Absolutely.
Or just like,
What's the name of your blog?
it's called What Was I Supposed to Be Doing Again? It's long. It's a WordPress one. But yeah, I think that's just basically like is the story. Like what I would get distracted with stuff, and I didn't know what I really wanted to do. And around that time, I was just like, I really want to be a writer, but I don't know how to go about it, whatever. I was working at a law school at the time. So I just like quit my job one day, just was like, okay, I'm going to do this like all out. Started working at a restaurant, worked at some networks. I worked at HBO, NBC, temp jobs, trying to like find my way into a writer's room somehow, some way, because you just never know where it's going to come from. So this whole time I was blogging about it, doing my own side projects. I wrote for a web series, did my own little sketches with friends, and just really stayed on top of the writing thing and trying to get in, because it really is about the work ethic.
There it is.
Like, as long as you're writing and you're putting your stuff out there, that's the only way I really know to go about it.
Absolutely.
And obviously who because this is Hollywood. So
Networking.
And everything. So yeah, I did finally get into a writer's room for the first time about a month ago.
Congrats.
That's
awesome.
Thanks. It was for a Comedy Central show that will be airing in September.
Let's go. You gotta do it.
Yeah, so basically I was brought in as a punch-up writer, which means that they're doing rewrites and they want to make the script better, so they bring in people. Normally it's like comedians. I don't know how they chose me to do it, but you go in and you just like sit in a room with a bunch of other people, mostly guys, and you just like, they just throw out jokes and pitches, so you're just pitching the showrunner the whole time. It was really fun. I had the experience of a really good script.
That's awesome.
And a not so good script, so I got both sides.
Juxtaposition,
and,
right?
Yeah, and see the life of a writer, which is pretty amazing. So,
Indeed.
yeah.
So, kind of like give me the spirit of your writing, like the tone. Like, I from my understanding is that you are definitely writing in the comedic space. So yeah, kind of like what did that seed? Where was that point of germination where you're like, I want to do this? Like, who inspires you? What got you moving to like get into this game?
That's a good question. I never really think about. I don't know. I've always been a fan of comedy, and just like growing up watching like In Living Color and all kinds of like comedy movies that my mom used to record for me, and just I used to like recite all the words to them, and I never knew like what to do with all of this knowledge of like storytelling and comedy, and being able to like come up with jokes and the comedic timing and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know how to really go about it, and it just kind of like hit me one day. I mean, I have my favorite shows and idols, people that write that I really admire, like Tina Fey, for example. I really like Amy Poehler. Most of them are women. But yeah, just going after it and reading their stories and see how they did it.
Absolutely.
And that's basically what I'm trying to mirror, like their path, but also make my own stuff.
Man, applause. Yeah. You mentioned earlier that, in your experience in navigating Hollywood and being in the writer's room and kind of doing the dance, you know, that is mostly a male-dominated environment. Like, what are your takes about, you know, black women having positions behind the camera in Hollywood?
So there aren't enough. That's the consensus on it. I think they're definitely there. It's just maybe the interest isn't there all the time for us as a whole. But there are black women creatives out there. I actually just went to see a feature, and it was a black director, female black director.
Nice.
But I think now more than ever, women are in right now, and the industry knows that. So they want to hear more of our voices. Specifically, why I was brought in to do the Punch Up is because I was a woman. So
different perspective.
It's like reverse, whatever it is, reverse affirmative action or something like that. But basically, they wanted to have more of a female voice because they have these female characters on the show, and the guys just like completely dog them out. Like there's bitches and hoes and all of this stuff, and they're like, yeah, we can do that, but we want the girls to kind of fight back or bite back or, you know, say something. So that's why we need you, because we don't know, these guys don't know how to write women. And I think that's what it is. Like our voices haven't been heard, and so Hollywood is looking for that. It's an untapped resource. So
got you.
Yeah.
Awesome, Callan. Perfect world. No limitations on resources. What would you be writing? What would you be developing?
I would be developing a pilot, a comedy. I want to say that I want to have a black female protagonist, and it would probably be loosely based off of my life. Like, I've been playing around with that idea, and I've started it and stopped it, and haven't gotten it quite off the ground, because I feel like there's just so many things that I want to touch on, and I hate seeing pilots like that have so many, like, ideas in it. Movies, too. It's just like, okay, what is this about? Like, so I just really need to, like, hone in my, like, focus on what I want it to be about. So,
absolutely. Well, I'm amazed by this. I think what you're doing is great, and I wish you, you know, much success. And I hope that, you know, the gates open wider for you, and you're able to really materialize everything that you dream of. So,
thank you.
Where can the people find you?
Well, my blog, like I said, it is www, you know, for internet people.
Exactly.
What was I supposed to be doing again? .wordpress.com. Then
and what are your handles?
My handle, I use Twitter, but not like that. I probably barely have any followers, but it's at Kiyance, and that's spelled Kiyance. Please don't ask me about the name. And then I think that's it. I don't have Instagram. I'm like one of those weird people that don't have Instagram.
Gotcha.
So,
you going to Comic-Con?
I want to.
Have you been before?
No, I've never been.
You got to get there.
I know the show that I'm working on is going, but I don't think I'm invited. But I would love to go.
Cause you would love it. Like your geek knowledge is up there. Like you would go crazy there. Like, it's so fun. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Okay. Well, yeah. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Definitely.
And yeah, guys, for the audience out there, appreciate you listening in. I'm Akili Shine. You can find me at Akili Shine, AKILISHINE, on Twitter and Instagram. This is G&T, Geek Nerd Tech. We'll see you next week. Appreciate you guys listening in.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Christian, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.